Good afternoon. My name is László Gradjanga, and this is the Computer Vision course of the European School of Data Science and Technology. So, maybe you heard about autonomous vehicles, like there is a famous brand these days, which is producing more or less self-driving cars, but self-driving is pretty much far also from the regulation side, but the technology needs also be advanced a bit. So if someone purchases a car like this, then they do not give you a car which can drive itself. They give you a car which helps you with driving, which is an assistant, for example. So just think about Google is also in this field. Typically these systems are referred as not as AI, but are referred as intelligent augmentation, which helps you extend your skills, for example. And the most simple problem, or the mostly mentioned problem in the case of autonomous vehicles, is the lane detection. So imagine that you would like to work on a car which is able to maneuver itself on the road, and to be able to do this, the first thing that you have to know is to know where the lanes are. Okay, and imagine that you would like to solve this problem. So you mount a camera on the car, and you need to do a real-time algorithm which does the trick for you. And how would you start it? Typically these algorithms are started in the lab. So let's say that you have a sample of a road image, and the task is that here is the image, and you have to draw the lanes. You have to identify those pixels where the lanes are, and you are maybe already experienced with programming, so you should know how computers deal with images. So computers normally deal with images that they give you a table which is m times n. It has some columns, it has some rows, and in each cell of this table there is a color code. And colors are typically represented with three components like red, green and blue, but you can use also a different color scheme. But let's stay with the most prominent one, with the RGB representation, color representation. And now let's go to the second problem which I would like to show you today. It is production line monitoring. So this is the project which I work on these days, and it's the Industry 4 domain. So what we do in this project, we monitor the production process with a camera from above, and the camera stream is processed with machine learning algorithms and sometimes with traditional ones. And in this case you see a kit tray. This is the kit tray. Let's scroll up a bit so that you can see it. And this is a kit tray where the parts which are to be mounted on the final product are prepared in a tray. And there are different kind of parts, like some rings, some springs, some forged, some molded materials, some plastic stuff, which I'm not very now I learned a lot about this field, but this is not my profession to distinguish these parts. But it didn't I didn't stop, so I managed to, or we managed, I did it with my students, to develop algorithms which are able to detect these type of parts, and we do it in more or less in real time, because we can do it with 30 frames per second. So this is what needs to be detected, and we monitor it, and the task is to identify when a certain part has been removed from the train. And in this case we also assume that if a part has been removed, then the operator just didn't throw it away, but also assembled it in the final product. And in this case, we need a new category in addition to forged or molded parts or plastic parts, which is the placeholder of an item. And this is a new category which we have to be able to detect. And if we have an algorithm like this, then we can know the takt times, if someone works too fast or works too slow. And we are also aware to detect if a step has been missed. And in this case, we can do quality assurance. And the algorithm that we involved in this case is called object detection. Object detection is a very standard algorithm in this field, and typically if you Google for it, then you will find a scenario where there is a picture and you can see some cars, some bikes on it, or maybe I don't know, a city landscape with people walking around. And what the algorithm does, it draws a rectangle around the object that has been detected and classifies as a person, as a bike, as a car, for example. But in this case, we use the same algorithm in a different environment for a different task. And in this case, the first step of our work was to develop a data set where we can tell the machine learning algorithm how does a spring look like, how does a forged part look like. And what we did, or what my students did, they just went to a factory, they just used their smartphone, they did a video from above, from different angles, and they had another smartphone which provided lighting, which they also moved. So then at the end they had a lot of images from the video that showed these objects to be detected from different angles and from different light conditions. And let's go to the next problem. Let's say that you are working on a drone and you would like to identify vehicles on the road from above. It is also the same problem as I just described you before. It's at least from the mathematical aspect. So when this problem is solved, then probably object detection is involved. But in this case, the training data is not springs and molded parts and forged parts, but buses, cars, military vehicles, and so on. But the difference is that in this case there is a higher variation on the data, because if we go back to this example, we can see that the camera angle is more or less stable, so it's mounted somewhere, it doesn't move too much. And if we go inside the factory, then you will experience that also the light is more or less constant, because there are not too many windows in the hall and the light is more or less artificial. It changes a bit, but not too much. But if you go here, then maybe the drone will be facing the sun, so then you can see all the vehicles in backlight, or maybe there is a wind where the camera will be shaking, for example, and it's very easy that some vehicle will be covered by another. So you have to be able to detect a vehicle by partial information. You will not see everything. So some parts will be covered by a tree, by another vehicle. And another problem for the defense industry is to imagine that you are working for an intelligence agency and you want to find the bad guys. And you have a lot of images from the internet, from online sources like social media, for example. And you have pictures about someone which is willing to do something bad, and you have to find this guy. And let's say that you have a picture about this person from backlight, with backlight, where the face is totally dark and the background is totally light. And in this picture, the light conditions are fine, but the half of the face is covered. And the developers of these algorithms claim that they developed this algorithm that is able to detect a face even when half of the face is covered, like in this case. And just think about it, how would you solve this problem? So let's say, okay, you think about, okay, I go for the eyes. I detect only the eyes, the difference between, or distance between the eyes, the color of the eyes, or I go for the eyebrows, and okay, then you manage to develop the perfect algorithm that is able to detect everyone based on the color of the eyes and the distance of the eyes. And then this bad guy decides to put on some sunglasses. And then you have to think a bit more again. And then let's go to a more peaceful application to Medtech and urine analysis. I learned to know a company, they are 77 Electronica, and they work with an automated urine analyzer. And normally urine analysis works in a way that someone takes the urine, puts it under a microscope, and counts one by one how many bacteria is in the urine, bacteria A, bacteria B, bacteria C in the urine, and in the end you can give a diagnosis like there is no bacteria D, so you will survive, and there is bacteria A, so take this pill. And then let's go to the next example, which is also the final for this lecture. And it's Medtech. It's from the Medtech field, and it's about tumor detection. When I lived in Vienna, then I managed to learn to know a friend of mine, and that time he was working on a startup, which is called Context Flow these days. And what he did that time, he worked on a Medtech software, which helped the doctors to set up the diagnosis for a patient. He worked in the field of medical imaging, so he worked with CTs and X-rays, and these systems are called clinical decision support systems. And you can imagine the system in a similar way as a web search. So it has a huge database of X-rays and CTs from the past, maybe with a patient history. So there is if you have an image from the past, then it has a diagnosis, and it probably has a history, which can tell us if the diagnosis was correct or not. And if we work with tumor, then it's let's say it's typical that the tumor is misdiagnosed. So it's a visible percent of cases when the diagnosis was not okay. Thank you for the attention today, and the next course is about the introduction to computer vision. Bye bye.